Are helium balloons gravity proof? Are helium balloons gravity proof? No, they're lighter than the surrounding air. That's why they go up. If I throw a beach ball up, it falls down because it's less dense than this, or it's more dense than the surrounding air. If I take the beach ball to the bottom of a pool and let it go, it goes up. That is because it is in fact less dense than the water. It's called relative density. That's what determines direction. Gravity is nowhere to be found. The only evidence for gravity is if the Earth is a ball. Gravity has to exist because it explains omnidirectionality, all directions, you sticking to a ball. No, man, no big deal. We know gravity's real because the government would never lie and modern science would never lie as they get billions of dollars funded so that they can do anything. And if they don't apply their standards to what is accepted, they will no longer be funded. But people wouldn't lie for money. Never, never, dude. People would never lie for money. So anyway, the Earth's not a spinning ball in a vacuum that defies the second law of thermodynamics. It also defies fluid statics. And we measure the surface of the Earth that isn't curving anywhere. So if you have a table and the surface of it isn't curving anywhere, what is it? Can you tell me why I saw the skyline of Chicago 60 miles away and it was supposed to be blocked entirely by Earth curvature, but we saw the whole entire skyline? No, you don't got to answer questions. All you got to do is walk by and ridicule people. That makes you smart. Can you tell me why we saw mountains from 200 miles away and they should have been blocked by 1 mile of Earth curvature, but we saw the entire mountain top to bottom? Anyone want to enlighten me? Whoa, what's up with that? See, what happened was technology outpaced the lie. Nikon came out with a camera called the P900, has an 83x zoom. They've now come out with the P1000 with 125x zoom. And so you can actually make long distance observations and see if there is in fact a curvature blocking your view. If I walk up to a mound of dirt, can I see through the dirt to the other side? No. So that's what the Earth has to do if it's a ball. This is why government has admitted that they censor Flat Earth forcibly, and all you'll ever find is the Flat Earth Society, which no one that's a real Flat Earther's in it. Do you guys support the government taking over and giving us curfews and lockdowns and telling us what we're allowed to talk about? Wow, interesting. The Earth is provably not a spinning ball in a vacuum. Provably. Okay, so like I said, a lot of people ask why would they lie, and that's whenever we got harassed. So there's something called the Antarctic Treaty. Every single major world country has signed it and said it's illegal for you to explore past the 60th south latitude, which is what would prove the Earth's a ball. Just another coincidence. Every single major world superpower has signed the treaty. It's so funny, but people laugh. It's just so funny, man. You guys know nothing about any of this. You don't even know what the Antarctic Treaty is. Anyway, so people say, what about people that go around the world? Well, it's called circumnavigation, right? You go in a circle. So east to west circumnavigation is identical on a globe Earth as it is a flat Earth. North to south circumnavigation wouldn't work on a globe Earth, though. Or would only work on a globe Earth. Probably a coincidence that no one's ever done it in the history of mankind, and it's illegal to even try to do it. You will be forcibly intercepted by the world's militaries. Do you guys support the world military? It's all working together, telling you where you're allowed to travel? Yeah. Well, that's what they did. It's called the Antarctic Treaty. So they actually did Operation High Jump, explored that region in 45, then signed the Antarctic Treaty in 58 or 59, and said it's illegal for you to go there, and that treaty's still intact. It's what would prove the Earth was a ball. Why can't NASA zoom in on planes flying upside down in Australia? That would prove the Earth's a ball. Because we could fact check it live time on the ground and see if that plane's where they said it is. That's why. How come whenever they're supposedly on the ISS, they get picked up with harnesses and their hands go through microphones and stuffed animals pop out of nowhere? How come when they're on spacewalks there are bubbles that come out of their helmets? Anyone want to tell me how there are bubbles in a vacuum of space? Huh. I guess you guys didn't see that on CNN, though. It must not be true. So, actually, NASA admits that when they train for the ISS spacewalks, they do it in a tank of water. Make sure you tape these guys, man. Okay. I know. You're a public servant.
Detective John Nikolitsky, Cleveland Police Department.
What's up, man?
For the Cleveland Indians. You were in violation of City Code 683.06.
Which is what?
Sound device or an application. You need to have a permit in the city of Cleveland. Do you have your permit, sir?
Do you have a decibel reader?
That's a sound device, sir. Do you have a
It has to be over a certain decibel.
Do you have a permit?
No.
Okay, you need to cease and desist.
Really? Does it not have to be over a certain decibel?
Cease and desist. You have a sound device, it's an amplifying device. 683.06.
It says a decibel, right?
No, 683.06. Any sound device, any amplifying device.
Like a cell phone?
No, a cell phone is not.
Yeah, it
an
does have speakers.
A cell phone is not an amplifying device.
It has to
This
be
is
a
an
certain
amplifier. This is a speaker.
All right, let me look up the code.
683.
You're going to have to look it up. You're going to call for a car and then you're coming to work.
You have to warn me first. Like,
Well, we're warning you right
okay, and is the amplifier on?
Listen, excuse me. Quit walking up behind me
Give
when
me
I'm
this
talking to
camera.
you, okay?
Give me this camera.
Stop walking up
Stop.
behind me.
Back up, dude.
68306.
Yeah, you don't walk
No,
up in
I'm
his face.
Amplifying sound device.
Excuse me, I'm the law enforcement
Yeah,
officer.
and you're
See,
taped.
that-
What's your badge number?
Yeah, I'm the police
What's your
officer.
badge number?
Give me your ID.
No.
Give me your ID. Give me your ID.
Dude, you just that's assault, bro. Did you see that? You just assaulted me, dude.
That's not, I touched you. Give me your ID.
Why'd you touch me?
Give me,
Because you're not complying.
Because you're not complying.
Oh, I am. I turned it off, dude. I turned it
I
off.
asked you for your ID.
What's your badge number?
496.
Okay, what's your name?
John Douglas.
What's your badge number?
Cleveland Police Department.
Okay, thank you, sir. That was at least professional. What's your badge? Did you see him assault me?
Are you didn't assault?
Did he grab my arm?
Did not assault.
Did he grab my arm?
If you do not
Did he grab my arm?
identification card,
Am I suspected? Am I being detained?
it's failure.
Am I being detained?
No, leave, girl.
Okay, so you can't ask for my ID.
You can't ask you for your ID.
If you're detaining me,
When they come, you've been warned. You've
right?
been asked to
And I
leave.
turned it off.
You've been asked to leave.
What's your badge number?
You've been asked to leave. My
You
name
assaulted
is
me.
Badge number 740,
Yeah.
okay? It'll be on the ticket. Don't worry about it. Okay?
What ticket?
The one that they're coming out the right.
You just said that I don't get a
Been
ticket,
warned.
right? And I'm not using the amplifier,
You've been asked to leave the property.
so this is public property.
You're blocking the sidewalk.
The amplifying device. That's
I'm not using the amplifying device though.
all right, you're done then. So stop.
Stop. What? If I'm not being detained, I'm free to leave or stay.
In about 3 seconds, you're going to be detained. I'm asking you.
I'm going to be detained for what?
683.06.
Which is about the amplification.
Amplification of a device.
Have I complied to that?
I asked you to stop and you did. That's what I want you to
Thank
do.
you. Okay, so I complied to the rule, and you're threatening to detain me.
If you do not leave, you will be issued a citation.
Can I get your supervisor? Well, you have to give me your supervisor, and you also have to give me 3 forms of
You're
ID.
demanding stuff.
Hey, can I talk to you guys?
You're demanding
I need a supervisor here. This guy assaulted me. I want to write a report.
Luckily, you filmed me.
I have it on tape. You grabbed my arm, sir.
No, I touched you.
I have it on tape. It's live streamed to hundreds of people right now.
He's been asked to leave.
He
won't
wants to
leave.
leave. It's
He won't show us his
683.06.
identification.
It's an amplification device.
He refuses.
He doesn't have a permit from the city. He won't show us his identification, and he doesn't have a permit.
Okay.
He said he stopped and then he would leave.
That's all tape, by the way. So what's your badge number? What's up, man? Okay. Thank you, man.
They've advised you of what ordinance you violated, so
They said I can't use amplified sound. I immediately turned it off. This guy then grabbed my hands. You grabbed my arm, dude.
He touched you. Whatever you want to
I know police officers love to lie for each other. Okay. I'm not talking to you anymore, man.
Taped it. Mike, you taped it.
Thank you. Okay, so they're not de-escalating anything, right? When they came up and they told me the ordinance, I said, doesn't it have to be over a certain decibel? He said, no, you can't use any amplified sound. I turned it off immediately and complied, okay? So then I said, can I have your badge number? He said, I need your ID, then came up and grabbed my arm, right? To try to make it where I can't tape him and grab my arm. Well, the law is that if I ask an officer to identify himself, they have to. That went to Supreme Court, right? Because you could be technically impersonating. These guys are in street clothes, so I definitely have the right to ask for a badge number. But no, they said that I needed to give them my ID. I'm still talking to him, man. You're not being very professional, man.
By now, do you believe we're police officers?
Did I not identify
Yeah, sure, it doesn't
myself?
matter. You still have to comply, man.
Pretty simple.
What's your first name?
I don't have to give my information, man. All right, so look, so then he asked for my ID, and I'm like, well, am I being detained? He said no, and I'm like, well, you have to articulate a suspicion of crime to detain me to ask for my ID, and then they're just trying to intimidate me and say I have to, and he came up in our space after he came up in my buddies. This is all live streamed, bro, on YouTube.
okay, that's fine.
If you were being pretty cordial, I'm trying not to keep you on camera. But this guy grabbed, I'm not like literally going to pursue the fact he grabbed my arm. He didn't like punch me, but that is illegal, bro. Like you can't touch my phone or any property of me. It's considered part of me. This all went to the Supreme Court, right? And so if I'm not being detained, I'm allowed to leave or to stay. Now, of course, if I can't use the amplifier, there's no reason for me to be here. I would leave, but you guys don't get to intimidate me with like coercion and threat of taking my freedom away. He's like, they're gonna come write you a ticket. I immediately complied,
Okay.
which they can't write a ticket, right?
So you turn the amplifier.
Immediately, and it's all live streamed.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, where we're at is, I mean, if you could just leave the property because it is private property.
This is they told me this is public property, bro.
If you want to make a complaint, I'd be more than happy to take your information down and do that for you.
I'm not giving you my information, man.
Okay.
Okay, but
Go ahead.
Are you a nice and Eagle?
Yes.
You
Copy. But basically, you were in violation of the ordinance, okay? That's why they approached you. They are police officers.
All right, I believe that now. Yeah.
So if you have an issue with the way that the situation unfolded, we can deal with that. I can take your information down.
Nah, I can even do it anonymously.
Asked to leave.
Right. So just to clarify, so we went over there. She said this is private property,
Yeah.
and she said, well, and I said, well, isn't it public? And she said, well, yeah, but they have a deal with the city. So she said I had to come stand over here, which is where it's public property. Okay, so they're triggered that the Earth's on a spinning ball in a vacuum, and I'm waking people up, telling them facts. He gets mad about it, tapes me for 10 minutes, tells me I can't be. First, they came over here and said that I can't be right here. Okay, which is actually, she told me I could be. So y'all are giving me contradictory orders as I've complied the whole time. So then he tells me I can't be on here. So I step over here. Then they start calling, trying to find a way to shut me down because he thinks we went to the moon and he's a boomer. So then he comes over here and tells me that I can't have the amplified sound. I said, okay, it doesn't have to be over decibel. I still complied, even though that is the law. It has to be over a certain decibel, but I'm like, whatever, I don't care. I turned it off. And now I'm on public property, which is where she told me to go. She told me I could be on there. He then told me I couldn't, so I moved anyway. Then he grabbed my hand and he's not identifying himself. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't actually have to leave. If I'm not being detained, I'm allowed to stay or leave. That's the law. So this isn't public property.
Yeah,
This,
I mean, semantics, man. I don't know the exact boundaries.
that's what she does, though. She knows.
She works outside. We work inside, okay? That's
Fair enough.
We got a complaint to come over here because...
From these guys.
No, before them. That's why
Right.
they came over here.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, we're not trying to cause any issues. I get you're doing your thing.
And it's the First Amendment. My homie died for it.
Correct. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we're not trying to cause any harder time. If you didn't like the way that they talked to you or something like that.
Or grabbed me.
But you don't want to give them your information. So
But I can anonymously file on them, so they do have to give me their badge numbers, right? Can you repeat your badge? Can I get y'all's badge numbers, please?
just sit there.
It's ridiculous, man. It's gonna be Nazi Germany before we know it. Pretty good. You could hear it from in there? You could hear it all the way over there? Wow, I didn't know it was that loud.
It's all good, man. I mean, like I was telling your friend, that's what complaining.
Well, yeah, of course. This is a very polarizing subject. It's all good.
The ordinance that you were violating with its decibels, or we could get into an argument and whatnot. You're in compliance now, okay? You're on public property. You're allowed to stay.
Sweet, bro.
Okay?
Thank you, man.
They both identify themselves on your video. So
I think so.
So if you want to watch the video back,
Yeah.
you could do that and get their badge number.
Fair enough.
I give you my badge number. If you want to make a complaint, I can take that for you right now. If you want to make it in the future, you can go to any police district. You go to the
Sweet.
Justice Center. Okay?
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for being professional. No, man.
Okay.
Thank you for being professional, man. Yep.
Obviously, like I said,
Don't turn it back on. I got you, bro.
Just thanks.
Yeah. Much love, bro. Yes, sir, man. Have a good one. Yes, sir. Will do. Have a good one. Crazy, bro. He straight up grabbed me, aggressively grabbed and squeezed my arm. I wasn't just saying that.
So we can be judged.
Yeah,
And we can be amplified.
we can't be amplified.
Oh, we can?
No. Which they technically do have to like have a decibel. I know they do, but I didn't read it. Normally I'll read the ordinance before I come here. Because some places don't specify the decibel thing. That's assault and battery. Yeah, I know. Nice job, dude. Thanks. Good job, bro. Thanks. Crazy, bro. What a clown world, bro. I'm sorry to the boomers, man. I'm sorry we didn't go to the moon, man. I'm sorry, bro. It's always boomers, bro.
They get triggered.
Great job teaching them the laws. Yeah, they don't know any of the laws.